Hi, it's Anthony. This is my fifth and final video focused around my top-level code prototype. This one is a little special because it's the first time I've ever put two prototypes together. In this case, I'm going to show you using a top-level expression like in my last video, only instead of using XML literals to make a web page, I'll be using JSON literals from the JSON literal prototype to build a REST web service using ASP.NET Core. Let's dive right in. Again, I'm starting with a vanilla ASP.NET Core 2.x project based on a sample provided by VB MVP turned Microsoftie Klaus Lohoman. Here's the sample controller, it's got some routing attributes on it, and it just returns some strings. But I'm going to actually delete everything in this file, and I'm going to rename it. Instead of values controller, we're going to call it episodes controller. And for its content, I'm just going to paste in a blob of the JSON that Scott had on his blog to remind me of what it looks like. Now, on its own, this JSON blob doesn't mean anything. But if I add just this one line, inherits VB JSON API controller, things begin to change. Now, just by adding this one line here, this file is already a complete functioning web service that will run and return this static JSON response. There you go. This is actually pretty convenient already if you're just standing up some scaffolding with test data to build your front end against. But of course, our goal is to make this go live. So let's take a look at the test data. The code isn't very long, but in the interest of time, I'm just going to copy and paste some pre-written code that I have here and then explain to you what it does. So now you can see this iterator function just goes through the file and loops over every worksheet in the file and then every row in that, and then for every non-blank, non-header row in every worksheet, it just returns the same reader that it's using. So now let's go write the query. So instead of returning the static data, I'm actually going to say from row in getRows select, let's do it that way, and then for each of these keys here, I'm going to map those values to a column in the file. So that's the status is row get string 0. And then here we're going to use string interpolation, which is actually a feature that I wrote in Visual Basic, and put that on the end. So if I did that right and we rerun this, instead of getting our test data, ta-da! All the data is there as expected and in the shape that we wanted. And of course, the benefit to this approach over using a static file is that if I want to go and then modify this data, let's say I got an update by adding a row, I can just paste that in there and save it. If I simply refresh this web page here, you can see now that that new record is reflected in the data. So that's it. You've seen me use the proposed top-level code feature along with the JSON Literal prototype to create a powerful abstraction that makes creating REST APIs over an external data source almost as easy as just imagining what I want my response to look like. And this is all working with the RTW bits of ASP.NET Core that are out in the world today. I really want to hear your thoughts on this approach and these features and whether they would make it easier for you and thereby make you more likely to add REST endpoints over one-off and legacy data sources. As always, please share. Thanks for watching and have a great day.